What a crazy day in the stock market. So yesterday we saw Facebook report earnings and earnings was not favorable and we saw the stock plummet. It plummeted quite a bit and it took the entire market with it. It also took Pinterest and Snapchat with it, and Pinterest was down 10%, Snap was down 24%, and the overall markets were down as well. Now today we had Amazon report. Welcome back to Stock Talk. My name is Julie, and let's go right ahead and dive into Amazon's report. Now, we had Amazon reporting today after hours, and they had an estimate of $3.67 for the EPS, and it was beat with $5.80. And we can see that the stock surged as much as 18% after hours. And that brought the entire market back up with it. It's incredible how these big tech companies can influence the market so tremendously. So Amazon posted sales of $137 billion, which is up 9% and was in line with the estimates. They had profits that soared to $14.3 billion or $27.75 per share, which is up from $7.2 billion or $14.09 a share from last year. So that is quite a number. They saw increase in customer demand, and to comply with the demand, they doubled their operating capacity. And one of the major offset came from Amazon Web Services, which is a cloud unit that had a revenue of $17.8 billion and is up 40% from a year ago, which is accelerating slightly from 39% growth in the December quarter and is ahead of Wall Street consensus forecast of $17.4 billion. Meanwhile, Amazon also had a strong quarter in the advertising business with revenue of $9.7 billion, which is up 32% and ahead of the street consensus forecast of $9.4 billion. Also, their subscription service revenue were $8.1 billion, which is up 15%, but just a little shy of the consensus of $8.4 billion. But nevertheless, they had a tremendous quarter, and we can see that in the reaction of the traders. Now, Pinterest, as I mentioned, was down in sympathy with Facebook yesterday, and it was down as much as 10%. However, today it reported also earnings, and we can see that it actually came in line with their earnings. Well, actually had better earnings. The estimate was 27 cents and the actual was 49 cents, and we can see the stock was soaring as much as 17% in after hours. Also, Snap reported earnings today, which again declined yesterday in sympathy with Facebook and was down 24% and soared today as much as 56%. Following their earning report, they had an estimate of negative 9 cents and they came in with a positive 22 cents. So we can see the stock soaring as well. So if you guys weren't already in the stocks, how could you trade the stocks? Well, let's take a look at the charts, because you never want to just blindly jump into anything. So I'm on the 1-year chart and we can see that Amazon fell well below any of the moving averages. Now, of course, it doesn't show me after hours and we are at $3,100. So that puts us somewhere right in line over here. So we did fill this gap, but let me go back and take a look at the 3-year chart. So on the 3-year chart, this is the 100-day moving average. If we were able to look at the after hours on my chart, we could see that it actually is sitting on the 100-day moving average. So if you hadn't purchased a stock prior to today and you wanted to get in Amazon, I think the 100-day moving average would be a great spot for you to get in. So sitting on the 100-day moving average, I think that would be a safe bet to enter a position if you wanted to enter into Amazon. If you look at Pinterest and see how we could trade it, if anything. So right now I'm on the 4-hour chart and we can see that it's been making a downward spiral since last year, June actually. So it's been on a downward trend for quite some time. We did have some attempts where the stock was trying to climb back up, but it actually got resistance right over here where before it was support, and that was somewhere around $65, so it wasn't able to get above $65 and then continued downward trend. So before we jump into a stock, we always want to make sure that we go with the trend, and of course we want to go with the uptrend, not the downtrend, unless you're shorting the stock. But I'm assuming that you guys are watching this video because you guys want to purchase stocks for the future and grow stocks where you can actually just buy the stocks and not have to worry about them. It looks like if I were to draw some trend lines here, let me just get my tool. So right now we can see it's trading in this channel, and with their earnings report today, we actually broke out of the channel. But before we enter the stock, we want to make sure that it actually finds support. So I would definitely hold out for a little bit and possibly just put the stock on my watch list and just see what it does. So for Snap, let me break it down to the 4-hour chart. Take a look here and see what we can see. So here we saw last earnings. They actually beat their earnings, but their projection, I believe, was not as favorable. So the stock broke down, and it's been also in a downtrend as well. And then today we saw the stock soar on their earnings report. And again, so if I draw the lines, this would be my upper trend line and my lower trend line. So we can see that it did break above the upper trend line, which was around $34, and we are sitting at 38 and it's trading higher. So, but I would still wait the next couple of days and make sure it actually finds support and stays above the trend line. It could be a fake breakout for both stocks, Snap and Pinterest, so we definitely want to avoid that. So that is just my personal take on it. Now you guys do your own research and make sure that you guys like the stocks before you enter them, of course. But my suggestion is put them on your watch list, make sure they find support. Don't just blindly jump into the stocks, because you can see with earnings season, the market jumps up and down, and anything can swing the market in either direction, and it takes the whole sector with it. So we really don't know what's going on right now. It's kind of, the market is very volatile. It's almost like in 2020. It's just really roller coaster riding right now. If you guys got anything out of this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video.